Thank you very much for still being there with us. Elder TK Ogoriba was one of the signatories to the Kama Declaration of 1998 and the first national president of the Movement for Survival of His own ethnic nationality in the Niger Delta. We shall be looking at the state of the nation, especially as it relates to the well-being and the future of the Niger Delta, and of course the issues of restructuring. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you having me here today.
Yes.
Right.
The leaders of the Niger Delta region met sometime last week in Port Harcourt. They had a conference, and at the end of the day, they came up with a communique talking about restructuring and the need for that to happen soon. Were you part of that deliberation to start with?
To be very precise, I wasn't part of it, but anywhere elders of the region meet together and talk about our issues, focusing on restructuring, all of us should be part of it, because Nigeria needs to be restructured, because the way the situation is presently is skewed in a manner that is favoring a particular section of the country. And if we are going to remain as a united nation, united country, we must be fair. We must listen to the views and cries of the people, particularly those of us that are from the Niger Delta. We are the people that are sustaining the economy of this country. So what we want should be listened to. It's not asking for too much, as far as I'm concerned. So whether I was there or not, I think I am part of whatever they have talked about.
What are really the terms of this restructuring from the point of view of the Niger Delta?
Before we talk about the import of restructuring, we can look at the document that is being used in the governance of the country. The Constitution. As far as I am concerned, and like as you do well know, the Constitution is an aberration. It is not proper. It is supposed to be a document that will be fair, that will take care of the interest of the people. Today, we can say that that Constitution is in favor of the North. Can I use a word, even though it has been used often, hackneyed? The new nation called Nigeria is an estate of our great-grandfather Uthman Dan Fodio, and that we will ruthlessly resist any change of power, using the minorities of the North as willing tools and the South as a conquered territory, never to allow them think about their well-being, and we should not allow any of them to rule over us. These are things that have been stated since 1960, and I can tell you that the present Constitution is fashioned after that. So there is an imbalance, and it is not proper. So, and in that Constitution, the president has the powers of doing what he feels like doing. I can tell you, the Avengers came up in 2006. People will tell us that why didn't they do all of that when Goodluck, a man from the South, was the president? Look, rulership is a continuum. Goodluck was a president, he left office, so President Buhari took over. So whatever that was left before that they didn't take care of must continue. There are issues that were laid down before amnesty was granted, and those things were going on before Mr. President came on board. What are we talking about? Development of the place. So we have also come to understand that it is only when we take some arms, militancy, that is when they listen to us. That was what happened during 1966, when some people started looking for state creation from 1940, after regionalization in 1939. No state was created for its own people, for self-identity, even though they went to Lancaster House, where they said we should be recognized as a group of people. We came, Brie went there and said we need to have a state created for us. They didn't agree. It was only when Isaac-Boro, went into militancy that a state was created after 27 years. And that is what that has come on to bear. So you would not blame any group of young men that are agitating in the south, in the Niger Delta region. Avengers not different.
Now, Avengers have been under for some years now, or for some three years now. Let's check out what happened within that 3 years, that there was no agitation from them. What level of development was experienced in the Niger Delta
There was
region?
no development. By the time we were able to secure what we call ceasefire, these young men respected the elders, the people that approached them, discussed with them. And after all of that, they now told the elders what they want that should be brought to the table. Which were development of the area, the University of the Maritime University, opening roads, infrastructure. Look at the East-West Road that was awarded since 2006, 15 years ago. It has not been completed. But some other roads that had come, after that, have been completed. They also want to complete the road from Abuja to Kano before our man, the president, leaves office. These are not the properties. So these young men put all of that together and gave it to the elders. The elders constituted themselves into what we call PANDEF and met with Mr. President on the 1st of November 2016, believing that they issued what we call a 16-point agenda. And out of all of the 16 points, I can tell you that it is only one, so to say, had been taken care of fairly. That is the opening of the Maritime University in Okranko. So are you taking us for a ride? We gave ideas to the elders. They put it up together in a paper and brought it to you. Now that you have not done anything, it appears you can only listen to us when we pick up arms. And that is why they are coming up again. And nobody's going to blame them. So what I can tell you is that our constitution is faulty. We have to address it. And that is all, embracing what we call restructuring. The constitution has to be cared for. That is why a body of people from the southern part of the country, the middle belt of the country, they have put themselves into a body called NINAS. And what is NINAS? Nigeria Indigenous Nationalities Alliance for Survival. Okay? Where they have given what we call a force majeure. A force majeure has been issued. They wrote a protest on the 16th of December 2020 and gave a 90-day ultimatum. That has elapsed on the 15th of March. Nothing is coming on. So in that paper, a demand was made. 5-point demand was made, and we can issue that to you. 5-point demand was made. So when we look at all of the things holistically, we will get somewhere. Presently, what we can tell you is that our constitution is not autonomous. It must be a bottom-top approach. It must not be foisted on us. It must not be enacted by, like as if it's a foreign group of people that did all of that. So we need to sit down and do referendum, go through plebiscites, and all of it together, so that when our constitution is properly put together, all of these issues. In that constitution, we have 68 items that are known to be exclusive, no-go areas. The state governor in a place cannot have what we call a state police. Security doesn't know. A lot of things are happening. So we felt that these things must be put together so that when we sit down and talk, it means dialogue. Except that somebody is happier when problems are happening. If not, why can't you sit down and discuss issues and make sure that all the areas of this country are duly taken care of?
But let's move on to the issue of restructuring, which is one of the engagement the president had with the leaders of the Niger Delta, the INT in particular. And the president said, on the issue of restructuring, things are being done. He didn't mention what he himself is doing, but he said the National Assembly is doing something, and whatever the National Assembly brings to him, he is going to act on. Do you feel any sense of assurance from the position taken by the president?
That is a way of parrying a question or a situation. I give you a scenario here. Avengers in 2016, they gave their ideas to an elders body and they went and engaged Mr. President. Nothing has happened, and that is why these young men are coming up again, and that is their style, and that is why people are saying that restructuring, there must be true federalism, there must be resource control. We should determine how our development should come on stream. This is gimmickry as far as we are concerned. We had said that by the end of June the body has to be constituted. President, because elders met him, had said that it has to be end of July when the report comes on board. That is a way of delaying it, and one man is benefiting from there. And that was why the young boys, IYC and the group of young men, decided to protest. And this thing should not continue like this. Everybody, you as a president, you are a president of the entire country. So all the LGAs, they are your constituencies. And if you do certain things the way you are doing it, the people that are aggrieved will rise up. Look at what we are doing right now, development. In every 100 naira that we produce in this country, 87 of it is taken away from the Niger Delta to better the lot of other areas, like as they were discussing here. It's wrong. And we are trying to do things from here to Niger Republic. Is Niger Republic part of this country? No. And the people that are supposed to be developed that you have not developed will be hungry. And that is where we are, what we are talking about. So all that we want is for us to sit down and discuss. And that is why some people are clamoring for what we call a confab, a national dialogue. Things have been done because the North feels otherwise. If they sit down and talk with us and the things, particularly in the 2024, constitution, that conference they had. 2014 rather. Okay, it will be beneficial to us because of this fact that they do not want us to determine how we should be developed. They are hungry. They are enjoying what is happening, and that will not continue forever. And if care is not taken, if we do not sit down to talk, like as all of us know right now, there are agitations. The Yoruba nation is trying to go. There is what we call IPOB, Yoruba. So many persons are agitating. It will come to a point where the people of the Niger Delta will also say, because the Yoruba nation took it up to where? Took it to Warri as part of their territory. The Igbo people took it up to Warri too. So we have to tell the world that we are a separate entity. We are not part of all of that.
Isn't that what is already going on? We had Anq Briggs yesterday on this program responding to this issue raised by the Niger Delta Avengers on trying to blow up oil installations if their demands are not met. And she did say that these people that met with the president, the leadership of the Niger Delta and International Congress, were not sent by the people of Ijaw Nation, and they were not representing them at that meeting, that what they have been clamoring for is self-determination. How do you juxtapose all of this?
Yes. Can I tell you this? You cannot be seen as a leader of a people. You are their servant. You must be seen as bringing to the fore their ideas. Mr. President of the Ijaw National Congress made a statement, very beautiful statement, when he said, we are not part of any secessionist group. We are not. But when the need becomes, we will go our separate ways. You have made those kind of statements. And in another breath, you'll be seen as coming to talk with Mr. President a few days later. All right? And when you come to tell Mr. But what will Mr. President tell you? Go and wait a while. Those things are not in line with what he said yesterday. And that is the reason why our dear sister, made those kind of comments. So whatever statements you want to make, you should talk with the people, and what you are saying should be a reflection of the collective decision of the people. And it's important, because a point will come when his own nation will be so divided. Because if you are not representing me well, you cannot be my leader. All right?
Would it not, is it not possible that probably they're looking for, how to douse the tension and, broker peace with the Ijaw people and the central government?
The INC, you mean?
Yes.
Fine. It is true. But you see, when you know that things that have happened over the years are not too much in favor of you, you have to take a very firm stand. You must not be seen as being wavering. Be here. As far as I'm concerned, let me tell you this. If I were to be the INC president, I would not have come to see Mr. President having made those statements. They should have looked for me if my statements are too strong. Like as Tompulu gave what we call an ultimatum. The government went to him to discuss. They agreed on certain things, and that leverage is there. So you should not be prevaricating. You shouldn't. As far as I'm concerned, what they did to a very large extent is not proper. They will say that they have come. What did Mr. President tell them? Just relax. We are doing we are doing things. The NDDC board will be constituted. We are waiting for the forensic thing, and it is different from what they agreed upon in Okorosa. End of June, they have come to get a statement from Mr. President saying that end of July. So what are we saying? A point will come, if we are not very careful, they will not take us seriously. And it is very sad.
All right. Talking about the issue of taking serious and the sincerity of purpose, to achieve the issues of restructuring and the demands of fair and equitable distribution of resources, the buy-in of other sections of the country is very critical. But some of the sound bites you are hearing, especially from the northern parts of the country, do you think that such buy-in would actually exist?
From the north?
Yes.
It will not be. I was looking at one of the papers here. Former senator, who was one-time governor, right, saying that what the governors of the southern region or the south are doing is like as if they are a separatist movement. All right, because the moment issues are properly addressed, they will have a problem. So they want to maintain the status quo. They are deified Sir Ahmadu Bello, and what he stated in 1960, they have taken it as a riot act, and they will not want to do anything different from what the man has stated. So it will not work. And because it will not work, and they are not going to do it the way we think that it should be done, and if they refuse to sit down to talk to the people, these agitations will continue. And for the fact that they want to coil everybody and shut people up, I can tell you that in all our territories, we have the Fulani herdsmen. 2 days ago, Fulani herdsmen killed a retired Shell staff who was staying in Warri, seized his wife and 2 kids. They are all over everywhere, possibly waiting for government to tell them that they should go on the onslaught.
No, the government wouldn't
do that. Yeah.
So
but
far, we haven't said
go,
anything such as
before we go, I need you to respond to this, because some people are saying the Niger Delta Avengers that are threatening to blow up oil installations if their demands are not met. They call it Operation Humble. Yeah. So people are asking, is that a solution to the problem? How does that, blowing up a national asset, how does that address the agitations in Niger Delta? And there are other options that they could take.
What are the options? Like I painted a picture, let me repeat that. They came on in 2016, few things happened, not addressed. They have come up again, and like as I said, it is only when there are these type of statements that the government begins to realize that if we are not very careful, and definitely when oil installations are brought down, it affects the economy of the nation, including the Niger Delta people. I understand, and if it cause more environmental degradation. I'm a chemist, so I know all of that. But if that is the only thing we can do, if that is the only thing we can do to get the attention of government, fair enough. And when the INC and elders came, said because of what he has discussed with the elders, the threat of Avengers is not... It's unnecessary. It's not necessary now. But what have you done? We have given you a window, 2016 to 2021, 5 years window, nothing had happened. So we need to sit down and let us see that things are done very properly. It could be taken as a threat. What they have said, the moment you are complaining about an issue, and if you do not want that complaint to continue, what do? Address the issues that have been raised. And these things are tied to development. All right. We know people that... Those of us that are from the region too have a problem. Let the federal government do what we think that it is proper, and we will sort ourselves out at our levels. All right.
I think that's a safe point to just leave the conversation. I want to say thank you so much, Elder Timi, Kaiser, Wilhem, Ogoriba, who is the first national president of the movement for the survival of the youth zone nationality. Thank you for time with us.
I appreciate all of you.